Heyo. Just gonna check that the audio seems to be roughly. Yeah, it seems all correct. Depends on how loud the actual video is. I need to get my phone up, don't I? Oh, nice and early. Oh, it's being stupid. Battle of Vodka. Battle of vodka. Battle of vodka. It's not called the Battle of Vodka, is it? See you in a minute. Most recent thing on there. Everything working? Yeah. What? Oh no, my internet. Volume's actually.
This is Smart Pizza, and in today's hour-long episode, I'll show you the most dangerous and frightening creatures on Earth. Some of them are long extinct, while others still pose a deadly threat. A creepy shark with an ancient crocodile eating dinosaurs, a venomous jellyfish, and a deadly snake.
I'm probably not gonna end up doing
for millions of years.
I'm probably not gonna end up doing the non-prehistoric one, the AI ones.
And much more are waiting for you.
Oh
Let's go.
my signal. Oh, my signal. It's being abysmal today.
Over tens and hundreds of millions of years, a great number of dangerous creatures have lived in the ocean, but hardly any of them could compete with Megalodon, the most famous prehistoric shark.
Tough one.
The most dangerous and aggressive shark of all time.
How's that aggressive? We don't know.
Megalodon
We don't know if it's aggressive.
could grow up to 66 feet long and weigh almost 50
I see. It's at the current
Modern
estimate.
predatory sharks are not even close to such a monster. For example, great white sharks rarely exceed 20 to 23 feet in length. And weigh
That seems
about
round, right?
1 ton.
I've just said.
In addition to incredible size, megalodons had incredible teeth. It's for this the shark got its name, which in Greek means big tooth. The megalodon teeth reached about 8
Massive.
inches in length. That's one of the most significant figures of all time. 276 such teeth, arranged in 5 rows.
That seems
Combined with the
reasonable.
shark's huge size, its heightened predatory instincts, and fierce aggression,
I'm just saying, how can you know something that lived in the past is aggressive? You can assume, but you can't. You can point out sharks aren't very aggressive. When I say aggressive, I assume you mean humans. Humans. And sharks aren't the most aggressive. I don't think the relatives are too.
deal with any other predatory shark. Speaking of them, there are plenty of creepy monsters in the ocean these days too. And the bull shark stands out among them. Most likely, could try to fight back. In addition, this shark is not inferior to Megalodon in everything. Unlike the prehistoric monster, the bull shark can swim in fresh water, so it can be seen in many rivers. Megalodon would be proud of its...
Isn't it like the most dangerous shark by a decent... No, not by a decent...
The bull shark is also
Because it's
powerful,
pretty horrendous.
echinoderms and crustaceans, rays and dolphins, sea turtles and sea snakes, and of course humans. This predator
Of
doesn't care
course.
who's in its path. They'll kill anyone. Only orcas, because they're superior in size, and humans, if we're talking about hunting and fishing, can fight back the bull shark. Any other creature?
What about a great white?
Prey and be eaten by the ruthless predator.
Couldn't a great white kill it?
Harambe. Dangerous and large creatures are found not only in the sea, although there are usually more of them in the water. There are some creepy creatures on land as well.
Why using Jurassic World? Why using... Oh, it's got a nice scene.
Like Harambe. Just imagine if this bird still inhabited the planet. Scientists believe that Harambe were the heaviest and largest birds of all time.
I've never
Which
heard.
automatically makes them very dangerous. Modern ostriches would seem tiny compared to them.
Do you mean
Harambe
elephant?
grew up 10 feet
Oh, you mean elephant birds?
length and weighed up to 1,760 pounds. The largest were representatives of the Harambe titan species. Because of their enormous size, Harambe
Oh, you're talking about
wandered
species.
wide, so they wandered through the fields and forests of Madagascar.
Yep, you're talking about elephant birds. You're definitely.
Models of the brain of these birds and found that Harambe
Maybe
did
technically.
not see well and led a nocturnal lifestyle.
I have no idea
dwelling
what the
mostly
elephant bird
in dark
is.
forests. They apparently fed on fruit, seeds, leaves, and insects, so they cannot be
Seems-
called the most dangerous birds in history. But the following feathered creatures can be terror birds. Yeah, that's their name. They also have a name, Borsch Hassan.
What did you just say?
Or Harambe. So they cannot be called the most dangerous birds in history. But the following feathered creatures can be terror birds. Yeah, that's their name. They also have another name, Borsch Hassani.
I thought it was Forest Rackets.
They lived long before Harambe. They went extinct about
Yeah.
2 million years ago. But if these
Yeah.
overgrown birds had coexisted together, Madagascar's birds would have a hard time. Terror birds would have simply killed them.
I'm not sure. The elephant, I think it might be, but the elephant birds are well big. And I'm going to call it an elephant bird because that's what...
They were
That's what I
dangerous,
call it.
frightening predators. Terror birds reached up to 10 feet in height,
I can't
had a
remember.
long neck, a powerful beak, and sharp claws. Despite their enormous size, terror birds were capable of speeding up to 30 miles per hour. Paleontologists believe that the terror birds first caught up with their prey, wounded it with their claws on their feet, and then delivered a fatal blow to the head with their beak. When hunting
That seems
large
right.
prey, terror birds attacked it with their claws and beak and hit its vital organs. If we compare terror birds to the modern dangerous birds such as golden eagles, peregrine falcons, and bald eagles,
Peregrine falcons? What? Yes, they can kill a duck or a goose. I don't think they can kill a person. And yes, they drop a tortoise on their head. And I think someone's actually died like that once. I don't know if it was... No, it was a different species. It was what are they called? European vultures. Or whatever they're called. But Peregrine falcon, what are you doing?
modern birds are inferior to the terrible birds. They don't stand a chance at a
They can fly though.
fight with the prehistoric giants. The only
They
thing
do. They can fly.
could count on was to retreat from the battlefield and escape from the fast terror bird.
Strafe, hit their eyes, fly back. Strafe, hit their eyes, fly back. Then hit the neck, scar it, kill it.
Since I'm talking about extreme antiquity, why not take a look at dinosaurs? By default,
They are still around.
we think of these lizards as some of the most dangerous creatures of all time, but no two dinosaurs were alike. Some were quite harmless and small, while others were real monsters.
Alright. By like you mean similar, because there are a lot of similar species. Let's just say species. If you mean genera, there's still a few similar genera.
And the most dangerous of them was not the notorious Tyrannosaurus, but Giganotosaurus. The 43-foot long
What is your source?
predatory lizard, weighing in at about 8 tons, Healthy
Late
inhabitants of
tons.
the Cretaceous period in the
Seems
keep
about right.
modern Argentina at bay. It didn't eat Tyrannosaurus. T-Rex simply lived much later. But if they had coexisted, Tyrannosaurus would have regularly fallen prey to Giganotosaurus.
What are you talking about? It depends on the T-Rex, because the smallest one we found would probably use to the biggest gig, or even the smaller gig that we found. But what is it? Not Susan, what's it called? A really big one, and what's the one beginning with S? Not Susan, not whatever it is. Really big one. Not Steve. It will come back to me. Those would absolutely destroy Giganotosaurus. I have no signal.
This makes sense because if Giganotosaurus could even kill 98 feet long Titanosaur, then
Titanosaurs. What's Titanosaur? Oh no, it is a genus, I think, but I just what?
Would be an easy meal for it. But even such a super predator as Giganotosaurus can be dealt with. For example, Deinosuchus could do it. It was a huge and very dangerous crocodile, but it lived later, 80 to 73 million years ago.
Seems about right.
If Deinosuchus lived at the same time as Giganotosaurus, it wouldn't have given it any peace, because this gigantic crocodile easily hunted even the largest dinosaurs.
It depends on the environment. If it's an ambush, Deinosuchus would obviously win, but if Gig ambushed it, Deinosuchus might still win. I think that's about 50. In a field, obviously, it would destroy it, but...
Crocodile. It grew up to 40 feet in length and weighed over 8 tons. Secondly, scientists believe that it was Deinosuchus that had the greatest bite force of any animal in history. It exceeds 356,000 newtons. For comparison, in Tyrannosaurus, this indicator is about 10 times less. And in Megalodon, it's 3 times less. Not surprising.
What?
Deinosuchus could bite through...
What? Max got a stronger bite, though, isn't it?
the thickest shells and most protected scales and skin of its rivals. Its distant descendant, the modern saltwater crocodile, which is considered...
I'm sure it's an alligator. No, I thought it's an alligator. Oh, has it changed? I'm not sure.
Looks like a toothless toddler in comparison with the monstrous Deinosuchus. Speaking of the saltwater crocodile, scientists believe that it's now not only the owner of the most powerful bite among animals, but also the largest terrestrial predator. This title's often assigned to another dangerous giant, the polar bear. Whereas saltwater crocodiles grow up to 17, 20, or even 23 feet in length, polar bears rarely exceed 10 feet in length.
Yeah, but they're really chunky.
1,760 pounds. And
Right.
even that's more than enough to be the most dangerous creature in the entire Arctic.
That's not saying
Polar
much.
bears are the only bears that see humans as prey. While brown
Ooh,
bears and
didn't
black bears may not notice a human nearby, polar bears are more likely to attack. They're
That's
also
because I
dangerous
completely
to the
carnivorous, maybe.
inhabitants of the Arctic, which they hunt. Common
what's the
seals,
start
weird
then?
seals, hares, moose.
Hares! There's a bear had a hare! That seems to be evil,
Even
but it's
walruses,
just...
polar bear is able to deal with any of them. This creature's very powerful.
Walrus? That's a bit of a challenge.
Saw-scaled viper. When it comes to dangerous snakes, we usually think of the black mamba, the rattlesnake, or the king cobra. But
Like
scientists believe that the saw-scaled viper is more dangerous than all of them. It may not be as fast as the black mamba, not as big as the king cobra, and not the most venomous in the world, but it is the deadliest one. According to statistics, it's from the bites of saw-scaled vipers that the most people in the world die every year.
Is that because they interact with more
In human, the saw-scaled viper makes its presence felt with a loud rustling sound, which it makes by rubbing its jagged rings. If the person doesn't leave, the saw-scaled viper attacks. Its bite is extremely painful, and in most cases is fatal. Its venom contains extremely powerful toxins, which have a specific effect on the entire blood-forming process in the human body. They cause a very dramatic decrease in the level of fibrinogen, the protein that's responsible for the clotting rate, which means that the victim simply can't stop bleeding.
Couldn't you
Sea
stop all the plot?
Let's go
Oh
back
no.
to the sea for a while. Nowadays, you can't find a creepy megalodon or Deinosuchus lurking near the shore, but you can
Dinosaurs
come
you-
across a sea wasp.
They know
This
you.
is not some special insect as you might think, but a beautiful jellyfish. But don't let this beauty fool you.
Are they
because
what,
the sea
boxing
wasp
a
belongs
hump?
to the box jellyfish class, which is extremely venomous. Experts believe that the sea wasp is the most dangerous box jellyfish of all. Its Its tentacles are
That's
covered
saying
with
it all.
stinging cells, which contain one of the most powerful venoms on the planet. The toxin is enough to kill 60 people in just 3 minutes. An encounter with even one sea wasp can be fatal. And if a person or other creature finds themselves in a group of these venomous monsters, there's no chance for survival.
Monsters? No, they're animals.
Contact with the tentacles simultaneously affects the nervous system, heart, and skin. Because of this, death after a sea wasp burn can occur more quickly than after a bite from a highly venomous snake, spider, or scorpion. Deathstalker. Speaking of scorpions, the bigger the scorpion, the safer it is. And this is proved by the final animal of this episode, the Palestine yellow scorpion. It's between
Episode. It's literally 10 minutes in. What's the... Oh, they...
1 and 4.5 inches in length. Not much, right? But this little guy is called the Deathstalker, and this is alarming. The fact is that this particular arthropod is often called the deadliest scorpion on the planet,
That
and one
looks
of the
pretty
most dangerous
deadly.
creatures. It's even listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most venomous scorpion in the world. The Deathstalker is widespread in North Africa, Turkey, and the Arabian Peninsula, where it can be seen in crevices and dry areas. Because of the terrain and coloration of the Palestine yellow scorpion, it can be overlooked and accidentally stepped on. In this case, it stings very painfully.
Jeez, yeah, he got me.
And the consequences can be devastating. From anaphylactic shock to pulmonary edema and death.
Oh.
Deathstalker has no trouble with animals, especially small ones. Fortunately, humans are more difficult to kill. But it's possible, so it's definitely not worth messing with. Megalodons and prehistoric crocodiles are the main toothy monsters of all time. The former destroyed their rivals in the water, while the latter operated near the shore,
Give it
tearing
time. Am I a joke to you?
apart all enemies. It's hard to find one that would compete with them, but there were such creatures. Some
Say.
were much bigger than crocodiles and megalodons. Others had more developed teeth, and still others even dealt with large dinosaurs. Let's take a look at them. Scutosaurus. Scutosaurus is a unique creature.
It's a big boy reptile. It's a baby turtle. No, it's a very big turtle.
Any other prehistoric creature, Scutosaurus cannot be compared with a stone. Just look at the images, which reproduce the
Can't
fossil
they?
appearance of the animal. Scutosaurus was discovered by experts about 100 years ago in Russia, and was named according to its translation into English as shield lizard, or lizard with a shield. In truth, this name is very appropriate. Scutosaurus was about 11 feet long, weighed about 2,000 pounds, and had thick bones and bulky muscles. Also, most of its exterior surface was protected by rock-hard armor. All these factors combined made Scutosaurus a very difficult prey for predators. However, its main problem was its slowness, because it's hard to carry such a burden every day and do it fast.
Is slowness a word?
These creatures were kind of
Is slowness a word?
historic
I'm just trying to
buffaloes.
think. My
They
brain's
roamed
not
the
working.
floodplains of Eurasia, just as modern
Yeah,
cows
so
and
is-
buffaloes do in herds. Actually, they were quite harmless since they were herbivores. But if you
So then how have they got there in this video then? You've said that they're harmless, yet they're in the 100 most dangerous creatures of all time.
they behave just like elephants or rhinos. Put
Okay.
it simply, they wouldn't bother with an intruder for long and would trample them.
Or just don't mess with them.
Spinosaurus is considered one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs, which obliges it to be included.
One of the larger few. They haven't set my organs on fire. That's a perfect quote for basically all Spinosaurus. Just sets my organs on fire.
In the list of largest and most intimidating prehistoric monsters. The remains of Spinosaurus were found in Egypt in 1915. At the
Yeah,
time, there was
I got that.
bewilderment among archaeologists, as some were convinced that these were remains of the famous T-Rex. Scarce fossils, which were said to be destroyed during World War II, could
Said.
clarify the picture.
Said.
In particular, it was
They
unknown
were. They were dropped.
how big or small the dinosaur was compared to the same T-Rex. Later, more and more remains were discovered, and these findings put an end to all the questions that had stumped specialists. Spinosaurus grew from
All the questions. You know there's still a massive debate.
40 to 50 feet in length and
12 to
weighed
50.
up to 7 to 8 tons. Experts
That's
were also able to establish from the remains of the skull that its snout was similar to that of a crocodile. This means
Please.
it was able to stay in the water for a long time, and therefore it fed there as well.
You've just set the world on fire.
Hunt giant turtles and crocodiles, as well as other dinosaurs. Gigantopithecus.
Gigantopithecus.
Gigantopithecus has a lot in common with the modern orangutan. It was predominantly an herbivore and very rarely attacked other animals. However, it looked so imposing that at first glance one might think otherwise. It could reach 10 to 13 feet in height and weighed a whopping 1,000 to 1,300 pounds. Gigantopithecus inhabited our planet 100,000 years ago. The reason for their extinction was
I thought it was 300,000.
which is thought to have significantly reduced their preferred fruit diet. It's likely that this giant ape coexisted with Homo erectus, our earliest ancestor. So,
His ancestor. Homo habilis. Australopithecus. Let's just say, since chimps. The last common ancestor of us and chimp. You can just get endlessly. You can't say Homo erectus. I think it's Homo habilis is before, anyways. So not even first Homo. Or early Homo.
climate change, which cut back on food supplies, meant stiff competition between the two species. Our ancestors had alternative food options. This allowed them to survive, but Gigantopithecus couldn't find a replacement for the fruit diet. Do you think humans and Gigantopithecus would have gotten along if not for the lack of food?
Absolutely not. Also, we have no evidence that they did get young.
Your thoughts in the comments. And
We have
stay
no
tuned
evidence that. I don't think we have any evidence that they met, but we have evidence that Young Rex was around
to
the
see
same
more incredible prehistoric monsters that even the most dangerous creatures in history were afraid of. Gorgonopsia. I present-
Gorgonopsia. I've heard some stupid pronunciations, but I haven't heard that.
Or, as it's also called, the face of Gorgon.
Why do you keep showing random movie footage? I just assume it's movie. Why aren't you showing like actual documentaries and stuff?
Was once considered something between a mammal and a reptile. Perhaps it was this combination that gave it such an unusual and
It's neither. It's not mammal. It's not a reptile by some definitions. It depends on if you define me as a reptile. It's neither. It's an distant ancestor of mammals.
But scientists still agree that the main reason was the unusual bone structure of the animal. Gorgonopsia has pointed long teeth and long fangs, and the structure of its auricles is similar to that of an ordinary mammal. The only thing that might remind one of a mammal is the way it moves, specifically the structure of the leg muscles. It's not known whether it had fur or scales, so it hardly can be called a reptile.
We do have evidence that it was fur around at the time. Found from its poop, but you don't know. I don't think it was eating itself.
Individuals could reach the size of a large bear. Interestingly, the 5-inch fangs appeared in these monsters during the evolution of carnivores, which means that they were excellent hunters. Surprisingly, Gorgonopsia is one of the least known prehistoric creatures about which only true experts know much.
Why do I always hear that? Where are you getting that from? I get it. I bet you. It's probably on like the Wikipedia article or something. Because I've heard that about 4 times. I'm not a Gorgonopsid expert, am I? It's such I'm a paleontology nerd, but I wasn't an expert. I've definitely heard of it. I don't think it's that obscure. There are definitely more obscure animals. What are they? I've even forgot what they're called. So not ceratosaurs. What's those things? Basically every dinosaur family. There aren't tyrannosaurs or hadrosaurs. Or sauropods.
Know that this is not an animal,
And I know those are 2 very big groups, but.
it'd be pleasant to encounter.
Whoa. You have to show the murder scene.
Arthropluria. Encountering crawling creatures is not the most pleasant experience one can have, especially when it's a millipede, which is over 8 feet long.
Actually, I find that scary. Because then the bigger it is, then
Fortunately,
the...
such an encounter could only have occurred
I'm terrified. I'm more scared of small spot. Like millipedes and I have bigger ones.
14 to 290 million years ago.
314. I thought it was on.
Arthropluria is rightfully
Seems like-
considered to be the largest millipede that's ever existed.
Right.
Interestingly, such a huge size didn't prevent the creature from moving quickly and comfortably. The remains found by archaeologists showed that it
Why
was
do you
quite
credit-
agile and had no problems keeping its legs in sync. According to scientists, the impressive size this genus reached is due to the high oxygen content in prehistoric times. In contrast to today's 21% oxygen content in the atmosphere, those 30% seem significant. It's worth noting that
I don't think it was
Arthropluria
just that. I've heard this video about it not being just that, but I'm not sure. I don't
was
know
not
if
a
it's just.
predator, as its diet allowed the animal to be satiated for a long time. Astraspus. Evolution is the best friend of animal species that suffer abuse. The perfect example is
Abuse.
Astraspus, a fish that evolved from helpless prey to a much stronger...
I've heard that before! Are you just copying? When's this from? Yeah, I don't think this is. It might be copying.
...million creature. However, it took several millions, but still, Astraspus survived mainly because of the nutrients that were scattered across the prehistoric seafloor. This made it desirable prey for predators, as it happens with all non-carnivorous creatures. Thus, Astraspus became food for almost all other ocean-dwelling creatures during the...
All other. Yitroy krill. No, not krill. Yitroy, like, zooplankton. Oh, a joke to you. And
Eventually,
every other
this
thing they
creature was
say
hunted
about.
so often that it evolved. Astraspus developed
Whoa.
tougher armor for its head and body, protecting it from cunning predators, such as the first sharks in history. Unfortunately, by increasing the strength of its external protection, Astraspus gained weight. At 8 to 10 inches in length, an individual...
It's just like a king tiger! I mean a Churchill, because it can't fight back.
which of course reduced its speed and agility in the water. Note the
Gunningstiger.
This unusual genus is associated not only with prehistoric reptiles,
Oh, no.
but also with lizards and snakes. This confirms the conjecture of many researchers that Nothosaurus are the descendants of dinosaurs. Lived during the Triassic period.
I've heard that before. No, 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 no. No, it's not. It's not silly because this is the sentence of dinosaurs. What? No, actually, I've heard that before. This is a joke.
Triassic period. Some 247 did reptiles, but also with lizards and snakes. This confirms the conjecture of many researchers that Nothosaurus are the descendants of dinosaurs.
No, no, no. The sentence of dinosaurs. I've heard this one. It's classic. Yeah, Joey, they're copying. They're absolutely copying. Not the descendant of dinosaurs. Not the descendant of a dinosaur. That's not going to be in the song now. I've already made a song. I'm just joking. Just why?
Nothosaurus lived during the Triassic period, some 247 to 201 million years ago.
I think that's the Nothosaurus in general. I don't think that's just Nothosaurus.
The animal can be recognized by characteristic features. A 13-foot-long, thin body and long, elongated features. Unlike dinosaurs, Nothosaurus was very comfortable in the water. And had a
You said it
lifestyle-
was not a descendant of dinosaurs. You said it was a descendant of dinosaurs, but then you said, really resources consider it, but still. But then you said unlike dinosaurs. So you just make absolutely no sense. I'm just gonna scroll up to where I'm actually at. I need to check chat. You can hear me. No chat messages.
similar to what we can now observe in seals. What makes this animal really frightening is its way of hunting. Of course, it could just grab and eat fish and other marine mammals that happen to get in its way, but its unique ability
Keep
was to
using
pick
the same clip.
up creatures hiding on the seafloor. Once the poor prey was found by Nothosaurus, it had no chance for survival. In truth, all information about Nothosaurus is only
You
speculation,
should some different.
as no expert has yet found meaningful evidence about its way of life. Perhaps this creature is a distant relative or an early ancestor of our modern lizards. Placodermi.
Probably not.
Placodermi were very long sea creatures that existed during the Devonian.
Very young. Well, tree stump. Look at the tree
They
stump.
were 32-foot long creatures that
Which one's that? Like, What's it called? The filter feeder. Is there anything in chat? It's a group of animals. You're kind of wrong there. Also, which one are you taking? None of them are 10 meters, I don't think. Because they scaled down Dunkleosaurus. Dunkleosteus, not Dunkleosaurus.
Shallow waters in Morocco, the Americas, and even Europe, according to some records. In addition to its terrifying appearance,
I mean, if they're in Morocco, I assume they're going to also be in Europe.
Derby is also known as one of the most formidable marine predators. It can swallow several schools of fish at a time. And
There are different placoderms!
very quickly and spectacularly. Fortunately,
But you only seem to realize a non-tree stumped Dunkleosteus.
longer swims in the oceans of our planet, so small fish can be at ease. But let's talk about prehistoric reptiles in more detail. We perceive dinosaurs as scary creatures, which isn't surprising. Pop culture played a big role in this. But in reality, dinosaurs were even creepier than you think. Some ate their own kind. Others brutally crushed the bones of the most dangerous giants. And still others...
Just assume you're saying the Navy, because that's my assumption at all times. What was it? Oh, I'm so tired. What was I about to say? Other animals nowadays eat their own kind.
deafening shot-like sounds with their bodies.
We eat our own kind. Sometimes. The Aztecs killed, didn't eat themselves.
Let's talk about the creepy and dark side of these giant lizards.
You know that we've eaten it ourselves before.
Cannibals. Cannibalism is always creepy, no matter who we're talking about. And it's
Humans or humans.
over dinosaurs. Despite the fact that dinosaurs lived on Earth for many tens of millions of years, scientists have only found a few confirmed cases of cannibalism among these ancient animals, but even this is frightening. A confirmed
Modern
case of
birds eat each
cannibalism
other, I
has been
think.
recorded among the Majungasaurus genus. These lizards inhabited Madagascar about 70 million years ago and are called Tyrannosaurus of the southern hemisphere, reaching up to 2 meters in height.
Where are you getting that from? No one calls it that. If you're gonna do Tyrannosaurus of the Southern Hemisphere, was it not Seats? What's the very big megaraptor they found?
In length and weighing 1 to
Or
1.5
Cantus.
tons, they were the top predators in their range. Apparently, there wasn't enough food for everyone, so Majungasaurus had to eat their own relatives. When scientists discovered the bones
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Majungasaurus
yeah,
with
well,
large, jagged teeth marks,
That's very
they
good.
concluded that they were the teeth marks of another Majungasaurus, because there was no other predator large enough to leave the same marks in the range.
You've literally just copied what what's his name did.
The king of dinosaurs. We're done with the southern Tyrannosaurus, but what about the common ones? I think no one will argue that Tyrannosaurus is the most famous dinosaur on the planet.
Depends on what you mean. As a like if I say dinosaur, people are probably gonna respond T-Rex, aren't they? Oh, Tyrannosaurus Rex or Tyrannosaurus or Rexy or whatever. But most famous in general, pigeon, chicken. I would argue the chicken is more famous. But I'm not going to argue that massive debate because that would take years. And
Its easy to remember appearance, imposing size, and brutal temper may have made it a true star. But in fact, the way we're shown Tyrannosaurus in the movies is not always true. These monsters could have been much more dangerous and crueler.
what?
Tyrannosaurus wasn't the biggest dinosaur. It was
Good.
12 meters long, 3.5 meters tall,
Oh,
and
so
weighed
quick.
8 to 9 tons. That's
That's a bit of a short range. I thought it was 6 to 11 tons was the range for T-Rex. Yeah, I think it's about 6, 7 to 11 tons. Or 10, 11. Because that's a bit of a short range because you get up
For
to
a
10 ton
giant, right?
individual.
But this North American monster's not so large size.
Stop calling it a monster. Not so large, as big as an elephant.
Tyrannosaurus was fast. Despite its not small size,
What?
this lizard could accelerate up to 40 kilometers per hour. Although, for the most
Where are you
part,
getting that from?
Tyrannosaurus
I
ran
thought
at
it was
about
pretty slow.
20 kilometers per hour speed.
Isn't that as fast as a Sherman?
King of dinosaurs caught up with its prey. It set in
No,
motion
King
its
Tiger.
teeth, which reached 30 centimeters in length. These are the biggest teeth
That's a
of any
foot.
carnivorous lizard in history.
According
For
to.
comparison, the no less famous ancient megalodon shark had teeth up to 19 centimeters long. Tyrannosaurus' teeth were not very sharp.
The
They were
bananas.
rather wide and slightly flattened. They were used to cope with prey that was fighting for life, well, already in the Tyrannosaurus' mouth. The set of teeth was terrifying. Different types
Whoa.
of T-Rex teeth had different shapes and
How
purposes.
could a 12-inch tooth not be terrifying?
The front teeth were used to grab and drag their prey. The lateral teeth were used to tear flesh, and the teeth in the back of the jaw were used to grind meat, which was then pushed down the throat. Tyrannosaurus ground their victims without difficulty, for the bite force of these monsters was monstrous. It was stronger than that of any creature alive today.
Seems right.
All in all, Tyrannosaurus was an almost perfect predator. But you don't have to be a predator to be terrifying. Think of today's hippos or rhinos. As herbivores, they're no less dangerous than, for example, lions or wolves. It's the same in the world of dinosaurs. For example, Triceratops was an herbivore, but other dinosaurs certainly didn't want to mess with it. 9 meters long, 4 meters tall, and weighing 6 to 12 tons.
Maybe that's a bit.
Erectus
Wait!
Tyrannosaurus was
I've never heard anyone say Triceratops is 12 tons before.
Well, there have been clashes between them because these creatures lived at the same time. Nevertheless, the
At the same
formidable
place.
predator was
'Cause
often hunted by
That
the
big
herbivores.
Megaraptor lived at the same time, but obviously it's not fighting T-Rex, is it?
Evidence that Triceratops
Yes, T-Rex has been
able to
tamed out.
withstand Tyrannosaurus is provided by the fossil remains of a Triceratops with traces of a healed wound from a Tyrannosaurus bite. Scientists believe that the found Triceratops was able to fight off the dominant predator, defeat it, and live long enough after the encounter for the bite wound to heal. How could a Triceratops defeat a T-Rex? With its horns, of course. Adult Triceratops horns were up to 2 meters long and curved upwards, making them a powerful lethal weapon. Incredible power. Who else could Tyrannosaurus get their hands on? What about Ankylosaurus? You could say that they're some of the most violent and frightening ancient lizards. As herbivores, these armed dinosaurs often fell prey to large predators, including
Often.
Tyrannosaurus.
You have to
But
flip it
over
upside
time,
down.
they managed to develop some defensive features. One of them was the bony armor plates that cover their bodies. In fact, Ankylosaurus were the most armored dinosaurs that were difficult to penetrate. But in case they themselves could punch hard,
What's the most armored dinosaur that could be penetrated?
because they're
Also, it can still be penetrated by DM. What's the round that the Yappa 207 fires? Can still be penetrated by that frontal, I think.
was a piercing tail with a stick at the end. The tail
stick.
of the Ankylosaurus consisted of
Club.
20 adjoining vertebrae, and it had a tail mace at the end.
Club.
These
Actually, I had the
monsters
club.
with up to 720 megapascal of impact stress. That was enough to shatter the bones of a Tyrannosaurus.
Just can proceed to show Jurassic so.
While some dinosaurs ground the bones of their opponents, others used more interesting features. By others, I mean Apatosaurus, which lived about 150 million years ago.
I'm not gonna touch
They
this
were real
mouse.
giants, significantly larger than Ankylosaurus. Apatosaurus reached 22 meters in length, weighed 22 tons, and some even weighed up to 72 tons. This makes them
I don't think that's a Patasaurus, and I'm not sure what's happening with Patasaurus. I'm just not gonna mention it. But I don't think that's whatever that is. That seems a bit absurd.
the largest animals in the history of the Earth.
That seems more like an
In addition, they were
Argentinosaurus.
one of the loudest animals. They were aided in this by their tail.
Do you
Not
just
only
mean
did
sauropods in
it have a
general?
stick on it, as was the case in the Ankylosaurus, Apatosaurus used its tail as a whip. Scientists did computer calculations and concluded that Apatosaurus could whip its tail so fast that it broke the
I
sound
think
barrier,
you're talking about Diplodocus.
hitting a supersonic pop. This created a deafening shot and a cannon-like rumble that could be heard several kilometers away. These lizards stomped their paws on the ground, and if they didn't crush their attackers, at least they used their tail and stomped to create a deafening and chaotic noise
Wouldn't it take your tail,
frighten
however?
the predators. As a rule, it worked. That's the creepy and dark side of dinosaurs. As you can see, these ancient reptiles were even scarier and more dangerous than we thought. But there are other interesting things to tell about them. Why not do that?
Ancient.
Stay tuned for
Birds are still alive.
even more interesting and unusual facts and theories about dinosaurs that will surprise and impress you. Discovery. In fact, dinosaurs were not discovered until the middle of the 19th century. The term dinosaur was coined by Richard Owen in 1842. However, dinosaurs
Dinosaurs had been discovered earlier in the 1800s. I'd say it's early, but fair.
It's believed
You
that
can
the
decide.
first dinosaur skeleton was found on the territory of China about 3,000 years ago. Of course, at that time, no one had any idea about dinosaurs, so the Chinese have decided that these are the remains of the dragon.
Maybe a bit before 3,000 years ago. I think the Mongols. I think the Mongols would have encountered something before 3,000 years ago, and I don't care if they're not the Mongols. I don't care if they're technically Zhangdu or whatever preceded that. I think the nomadic tribes of modern day Mongolia would have found out what was going on before then. They would have dug up some of the hundreds of Protoceratops specimens.
Quickly, they found a use for the find. Local healers began to grind dinosaur bones into powder and prescribe
They did
it
that
as
with the Rantopithecus as well.
medicine for dizziness and cramps. The
Teeth.
medicine was also put on the cuts, wounds, and fractures. Size. Because of pop culture, we used to think that dinosaurs were all giants.
We used to.
Reptiles
No scientist did that.
were indeed huge. Many weighed tens of tons and were as big as today's high-rise buildings. But scientists believe that most dinosaurs were relatively small, the size of a pet or a human. Some were even tiny. For example, Compsognathus weighed a couple of kilograms and was no more
What happened to its feathers?
than a meter long. While you long could even fit in the palm of a person's hand. Herbivores.
You know, birds are dinosaurs.
Because of pop culture, we're used to thinking that dinosaurs were almost entirely predators that regularly fought amongst themselves.
Who thinks that? Who with an actual brain thinks that?
There were many predators among these reptiles, but scientists believe that there were many times more herbivores.
That makes sense because of how energy is burned.
Ecosystems in Africa and Asia. Herbivorous Heterosaurus, ornithopods, and to a lesser extent,
Hadrosaurs are ornithopods.
sauropods were probably grouped into huge herds that were hunted by the more rare carnivorous theropods.
Boo.
Extinction. According to the main hypothesis, the dinosaurs went extinct about 66 million years ago after a huge
Put it
asteroid.
right there.
Many people believe that the asteroid killed the dinosaurs almost instantly.
They've never killed the dinosaurs because birds are dinosaurs.
Scientists believe that the
Because birds are dinos. Ah.
extinction process took hundreds or even thousands of years. Global climate change, lack of sunlight, and lack of vegetation significantly altered the food chain. Some isolated populations of dinosaurs located in remote regions of the world may have lived a little longer than their congeners. And
You know, birds are dinosaurs.
theory, some dinosaurs have survived to this day.
Called birds.
Who knows? Maybe a couple of weakened ancient reptiles indeed still roam somewhere in places where no man has set foot.
They're probably in your back garden if you have a garden. You can probably find one in less than an hour.
Is it possible? Could
Um,
dinosaurs have
I
survived
mean, I could probably do it in less than a minute. Just have to run outside and find a chicken.
today? And
Obviously,
what
touching
would
one
they
would be
now?
hard.
How would they coexist with humans?
They do! They're birds!
A little
Just accept it!
would have happened if dinosaurs had not become extinct.
Birds are dinosaurs! I know dinosaurs, they go extinct because we won't have anything to eat.
That very asteroid.
That very,
Our planet
I'm
was
just saying.
inhabited by dinosaurs of all kinds and sizes.
See, now you're kind of right because dinosaurs nowadays.
Well-adapted reptiles, many of which were excellent.
Why shouldn't stegosaurs?
Is it possible that a single asteroid ended their existence?
No, because birds are dinosaurs.
Particular asteroid can hardly be called just a rock from space. A rock of 15 kilometers wide hit the Earth with a force
Close.
a billion times greater than that of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Why do we compare everything to the bomb dropped on Hiroshima? Hiroshima? The nuke? Yeah, oh boy. Why do we compare it to
Blast
Fat
wave
Man?
and radiation literally swept away everything within a radius of hundreds of kilometers.
Brackets, miles. Also, why were you starting out with pounds and now you've gone to the kilometers? Is it because you can't be
The impact of
brackets, miles?
tsunami, volcanic eruptions, and forest fires on a global scale. As a result of the impact, 75% of all species on the planet became extinct. If it had happened a little earlier or a little later, Or if the asteroid hit a few kilometers to the left, life on the planet would have been radically different from what it is today. The asteroid fell in the shallow ocean in what is now the Mexican Yucatan Peninsula. But even if it had fallen into the deep ocean, or if it had flown past the Earth, the dinosaurs would have had to endure several more global crises in order to survive.
What's it?
Obstacle course. 55 million years ago, the climate on our planet changed. But it was hot. The average temperature was 8 degrees Celsius.
Why are you showing Istrosaurus?
The tropical forests were vast, but the plants
Why
were
showing
often much
dinosaurs?
less nutritious for herbivores. It's likely that reptiles would have been able to adapt to such a diet, but they would have become much smaller in size. 34 million years ago, the climate became drier and colder. During this period, long-legged and vast reptiles would have reigned, easily traversing the vast grassy plains that would have begun to take over the forests. Such dinosaurs still had a big advantage over mammals. The reptiles had sharper eyesight and were faster and stronger. Some scientists doubt that mammals would have evolved much at all if they'd continued to live side by side with such rivals. But it still could be possible. After
That'd be
all,
fun.
humans somehow evolved alongside mammoths and saber-toothed cats. 2.6 million years ago, the Ice Age began on Earth. Countless species became extinct.
Which one? Snowball Earth 1, Snowball Earth 2, or the modern ones?
But even then, according to science, some dinosaurs still had a good chance of survival.
Yeah, they're called birds, and they're still alive.
Some of them were warm-blooded, and if the reptiles had managed to adapt to the cold,
Reptiles have. They're called birds. They're called gizzards and
the
birds.
encounter would most likely have taken
crocodiles.
place in a nature reserve, given the natural conditions and the development of civilization.
You know that not the entire world wasn't freezing.
Today, large dinosaurs would be considered endangered species. If they had survived the global crises of our planet, there would have only been two options. Either we would have learned to coexist peacefully, or humanity would have disappeared, suppressed by the
You know, it's humanity. We'll nuke everything we find. We'll drop DDT at massive amounts to destroy them. Because you know there's such thing as DDT, and you know what it's good for? Messing up birds. And what are birds? Dinosaurs. So DDT can nuke dinosaurs. No, it can. I think it can. It would make sense because it nukes their eggs. Not nukes, obviously. Obviously, let's just assume that everything else goes the same. The Americans still start the Manhattan Project. They're still successful, assuming that the Germans haven't somehow done some stupid wonder weapon with like these dinosaurs. Because knowing the Germans, they probably would. Yeah, nuclear bombs could easily destroy. Or gunfire, to be fair. Or swords.
The theory of decline. However, it's possible the asteroid was not the main reason for the disappearance of the dinosaurs.
It probably was the direct thing, but they might have already been doomed because of the volcanic eruptions in India.
Scientists believe that these reptiles began to decline long before the hit. The late Triassic period, a point in time about 200
They were not declining in the late Triassic, let's just say that.
ago, is generally accepted as the big start of evolution. At that time, new species began to appear.
You know, it's not the late Triassic, it's 251.8 million years ago. Maybe the extinction was 0.9, that's why I've said 0.8. After the extinction, it's just more like 0.6.
evolved faster than the old ones died out. After 120 million years of such a rapid evolution, roughly 30 to 40 million years before the asteroids hit, the dinosaur population had already begun a precipitous decline, especially the carnivorous theropods, to which that legendary Tyrannosaurus belonged suffered. It's incredibly difficult to estimate the probability of independent extinction of dinosaurs, because
It depends on, I think, not too high, because the Indian eruptions weren't too bad.
possible to simulate the development of the planet, which wasn't hit by that asteroid. But it's quite easy to provide an example of survival through millions of years.
Possible.
Interesting fact. Scientists believe that dinosaurs
Something
were the
would have killed
ancestors
them.
of birds, and that modern birds are the closest relatives of these ancient
They aren't. They are dinosaurs.
reptiles.
They are dinosaurs. Can you not accept that? What have you done to a chicken?
Pigeons or chickens, have a lot more in common with T-Rex than you thought. Want to learn even more interesting facts and hypotheses about dinosaurs? Well, then stay tuned, because all of the most interesting stuff is further in this episode. The
That's how
northern
you make it.
dinosaur. Most
What's the
dinosaurs
southern dinosaur? Multiple. Oh no,
have been found in arid and desert regions of the
that's
planet.
not a dinosaur.
This is easily explained by the fact that bones are better preserved in such an area and are much
No, they're better preserved with water, but they don't need to. They don't want to decay. So deserts aren't very good. Rainforest, jungles aren't.
treated from
What you
the
want is a wetland. Basically, Hell Creek. Or not really. The Morris information. Morrison's a bit dry, but it's good because nothing could decompose it.
2015, scientists discovered the remains of Hadrosaur, a so-called duck-billed dinosaur, in the vicinity of the Colville River in Alaska. According to scientists, the dinosaur they found was warm-blooded, which means that wintering in a harsh climate wasn't difficult for it. Over the past few years,
We're not sure.
dinosaurs were able to find the remains of 13 dinosaurs in Alaska. But
Dinosaurs were able to find dinosaurs. I don't think birds are digging up holes and finding their
unfortunately,
ancestors.
they couldn't be grouped together to distinguish
Oh, no,
a
ancestors
separate
were out.
species. Fossils were too fragmentary and deformed. And finally, in 2015, scientists were lucky. They managed to find almost complete skeletons of a whole group of
They're
large
showing like Owen's one.
duck-billed
Not
dinosaurs.
Owen's
According
poster.
to scientists, most of the reptiles they
American.
found were quite young individuals, reaching on average only 1 meter in height and about 3 meters in length. However, paleontologists believe that this is not the limit and that adults could be much larger, up to 10 meters. Dinosaur intelligence. In a hypothetical universe where dinosaurs managed to survive to this day, they might have changed beyond recognition. Would today's Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops even remotely resemble their ancestors? This isn't known for certain. But it is known that nature is capable of the most incredible miracles. The evolutionary pathway from protozoa to higher order mammals alone is a great example.
That's
Another
insulting to
critical question of this
protozoa.
hypothetical universe is what changes would the dinosaurs' intelligence have undergone? Scientists have a body of evidence that some species were already uniquely intelligent by the time of the asteroid hit 66 million years ago. Troodon is commonly cited.
Oh no, not the. It's a dinosaur, but not valid. Have done this once before. Who cares? It's not valid. Dun, 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 dun. Not the dinosaur. Not. Oh no, it's a dinosaur, but not valid. We have no idea what it is. Probably we think it's a dinosaur. Dun, 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 dun.
In terms of physical
that's
parameters,
shocking.
this reptile was not remarkable. It was
It's not
average
valid.
in strength and size. However, its brain was unusually large compared to its body
It's
proportions.
invalid. I'm ignoring this because this animal is invalid.
Interested in the case of Troodon, scientists came to the conclusion that the representative of this genus could be considered the most intelligent of the dinosaurs.
It can be considered invalid.
It's known that Troodon moved on its hind legs and could use its front limbs to perform movements requiring fine motor skills. One more
It's
interesting
invalid.
fact is that it had a binocular vision, and its eyes were located not on the sides, but in the front. This dinosaur looked at the world almost like a man. But could such a reptile become similar to us as the result of evolution? Most scientists doubt it. The evolutionary path to achieve such a goal would have been nearly impossible. After all, crocodiles have lived on Earth since the time of the dinosaurs, but they never became human-like. Would dinosaurs have liked the modern world? After all, these days the world is suffering from another lingering crisis, global warming. Few people know that extreme heat was as destructive to dinosaurs as cold.
Obviously, because it can destroy cells.
Dinosaurs really look like. Of course, we all have a general idea of what the most
That's
famous
not a
species of
dinosaur, shut
dinosaurs look like. But is their image really true?
I
The
don't
well-known
have-
monsters from the Jurassic Park movie were
Monsters.
created with the help of computer simulation. But is it possible to keep accuracy by recreating the creature only by its bones? Contrary to popular belief, not all dinosaurs were large. Paleontologists are
you've already
convinced
said
that during the heyday of the dinosaur age, the planet was inhabited by reptiles of all colors and sizes. For example, the smallest dinosaur known to science weighed several hundred grams.
You've just shown it.
Surprisingly, the largest animal that ever
Why'd
lived
you
on
keep
Earth
showing that one thing?
still lives here, and it's not a dinosaur, it's a blue whale. So don't be too impressed the next time you'll be asked to imagine the ancient megalodon shark. However, the blue whale is harmless to humans, but you can't say that about the prehistoric predatory shark. Proof of hypothesis.
What happened to this being a top 100 most
The
dangerous
dinosaurs
creatures
lived
of
for
the
the
day?
last hundreds of thousands of years and even encountered humans.
It wasn't the
Is it
danger.
conceivable that they would have survived to the present day? It would seem so.
You're,
Of course,
you're
if
getting
one
on
considers
extreme tangents.
the hypothesis
More
that
tangents than
humans
me.
are also surviving as a species, one must also consider the negative side of the human factor. After all, humans
Bombs.
exterminated mammoths and other megafauna. Surely they would have started hunting dinosaurs as well. Could humans have eliminated the dinosaurs without the help of asteroids and climate change?
Yes!
Really,
Can I show you something? It's called the bomb we dropped on Hiroshima!
the statistics of species that have disappeared.
We as in the Allies. Or as humanity, because I don't... Not as... Yeah, we as in the Allies. I don't
Yes,
mean
that's quite
humans.
possible. And yet, in one of the alternate universes, humans and several species of large herbivorous and even carnivorous reptiles, similar to tyrannosaurs,
You know,
could
no, I don't know if there's any... Oh, iguanas and Komodo dragons. Yeah, herbivorous, yeah, carnivorous reptiles.
well have coexisted on Earth.
I know
Today,
this
they
fuck
could
does.
exist in protected deserts and national parks, suitable
Why would we protect deserts? They're useless. No one lives there.
to live in. Perhaps the smallest non-bird dinosaurs would have adapted to urban environments and lived with humans in cities, along with pigeons, rats, and gulls.
The smallest
We're
ones,
done with
maybe,
reptiles.
but kind
Now let's talk about the giant prehistoric shark I already mentioned in this episode.
So why are you mentioning it twice?
Talking about Megalodon, of course. About 20 million years ago, it swam in the seas and oceans of our planet and terrified marine creatures. It may seem that these sharks had absolute power, but there were creatures that even such a monster was afraid of.
The title is so stupid because there's nothing to do with the video. How many views does this have? How does this have 1 million views? Not fair. What? There's a only has 4,000. Yikes. Let me work that out. I just say it's got 5,000 next because I'm nice and because I don't want to have to do all the rounding shenanigans. So 1 million. One in 200 views are like, yep. She pretty must have. Might have had
A
that.
dangerous crocodile
It's got 100,
to a
yeah.
sperm whale to a 120-ton giant. Let's find out who
What are you
else
talking
can
about,
stand up to this
120?
dangerous shark. Leviathan.
Give it time.
Let's start with the largest prehistoric cetacean.
I think you
ever
should rename your channel Stupid Pizza.
Meet Leviathan.
Give
or
it time.
Al Milvelli. It was one of those
Why?
that rivaled the giant megalodon. Just imagine, it was 13 to 17 meters long and weighed between 90 and 120 tons. Impressive.
Yeah, why?
Currently, there aren't many fossils of Leviathan, so it's impossible to say for sure how long Leviathan dominated the ocean. However, it's safe to say that the sperm whale occasionally crossed paths with megalodon. The two sea monsters may well have
They're not
come to
monsters.
collide. Do you think that only piranhas have powerful and sharp teeth? Or that only T-Rex had them? I think I wouldn't be wrong to say that it was Al Milvelli that had the most impressive teeth. Such a monster could easily eat a
What's it called? Mammoth.
like megalodon.
Straight
Because
tusked
these
elephant. Was a Perioxodon nommaticus. Those tusks are impressive.
Alone was 3 meters. The upper fangs of Leviathan were 36 centimeters long and 12 centimeters in diameter. That is, its teeth were even larger than those of its enemy, Megalodon. Although the name Megalodon translates as big tooth, the length of Megalodon teeth could only reach 18 centimeters,
Oh my.
which, however, is also incredible.
What happened?
Advantages of the giant sperm whale, it could easily disarm Megalodon and defeat the famous king of the underwater world. Zygomphoseter verili.
I've heard of this thing.
Zygomphoseter verili is another member of the cetacean family. It's also called the killer sperm whale because it
That's
looks
what
like
we
a
call
sperm
it.
whale. So here we have another candidate that Megalodon would have to fear. It lived on the planet at the end of the Miocene, about 7 to 11 million years ago. Scientists say Zygophoceter verili grew to 67 meters in length. The asymmetrical shape of its skull suggests that it used echolocation to hunt sea creatures. It also received a gift from nature of powerful jaws. Its teeth were 15 to 20 centimeters long, allowing Zygophoceter verili to eat large fish. If it had a conflict with Megalodon, the latter most likely received severe wounds, even though it was larger than the killer sperm whale.
I think
Ramphasuchus. In prehistoric times, there were quite a few huge gharials and false gharials. Therefore, another creature that Megalodon feared was probably the largest of them, Ramphasuchus. It lived on the Indian subcontinent during the Miocene period as Megalodon. Paleontologists, unfortunately, have very few fossils of the species. They got only a few teeth and pieces of the skull. According to them, this ancestor of the crocodile was 8 to 11 meters long. Fossils indicate that it was a very active predator. Its long and agile tail allowed Ramphasuchus to swim quickly and maneuver in the water. It entered the water to hunt, mainly small prey and fish, but sometimes larger prey, including Megalodon sharks that were also caught in its mouth.
I don't think
Scientists
a crocodile's
speculate
hunting
that
Meg.
Ramphasuchus could actually win a fight with these sharks due to its developed jaws, which were studded with a large number of long and sharp teeth, and were therefore perfectly adapted to hunt a wide range of prey, including such a giant as Megalodon. It turns out that the king of the ocean was once not Megalodon, as is now commonly believed. Before that, a much more dangerous creature reigned in the waters of the world ocean, for which Megalodon sharks themselves could just be an appetizer. This elongated body reptile was Mosasaurus,
I think Meg would win a fight.
or the lizard of the moist river, a giant prehistoric lizard. Fossils of this genus have been found on many continents, including Antarctica.
What?
This huge
I don't think it was specifically Mosasaurus.
sea lizard lived about 70 to 66 million years ago.
Think about that.
Mosasaurus lived near the surface of the ocean and fed on whatever animals came their way, from mollusks, turtles, fish, and birds, to pterosaurs and plesiosaurs. Mosasaurus and giant Megalodon sharks never crossed paths with each other, so we can only imagine the battle between these two giants. So the biggest Mosasaurus could grow up to 17 meters long, but according to some reports, their length was up to 20 meters. Like dragons,
What's your source, Jurassic World?
the jaws of Mosasaurus had so-called joints.
Whoa.
This allowed them to widely open the mouth and
You know,
swallow
while you're talking, you're using your mouth joints. I know.
very large
Mind blown.
predator, including those which size exceeded their own. It's interesting that on the fossil bones of Mosasaurus, there are many traces of teeth of their congeners, with traces of fractures and deep incisions. Also, we can assume that Mosasaurus were more nimble, and their reaction speed was faster than that of the Megalodon. Another point in favor of the reptile in a potential battle with a Megalodon is the skeletal structure. Mosasaurus had a bony skeleton, while Megalodon's was cartilaginous, and thus more fragile. Thus, the probability that the giant shark would have lost the fight is very high.
It's yes.
According to some experts, this creature was the most terrible predator of the Jurassic, and possibly of the entire history of the Earth. It lived about 164 million years ago. This is Leopleurodon, the fearsome marine reptile.
Oh no.
Let's imagine that
It's
this
not the worst ever. And it's probably not even the Jurassic.
creature, a large
Because
genus,
Pliosaurus. Because Pliosaurus must go.
Let's start with size. In 2003, it was believed that the body length of Leopleurodon is 18 meters. These conclusions were based on the length of the remains found.
I'm just gonna get.
But in 2003, another fossil Plesiosaurus was found in Mexico with a body length of 18 meters. The fossils belong to a young creature, and thus it would have grown even bigger.
What is your source?
Would probably have grown to be 20 meters long or more.
I knew anyone with more than a brain cell and who hasn't been living under a rock for the last 15 years knows that that is not correct. 15 years, 10 years, who cares?
Fleurodon was able to move perfectly in the water thanks to its powerful 3-meter-long
Is it
flippers and
perfectly?
studies with the reptile's mouth was studied with huge round.
Oh no, he's using the clip! I got a perfect image on it. Mercy!
It also had very strong subcutaneous bony plates, which provided good protection. In general, if this creature and Megalodon had met and decided to fight, the prehistoric shark could have been definitely seriously injured.
Could be
All the
definitely,
animals
that makes
discussed
sense.
up to this point actually existed on our planet. But what if Megalodon had to face the sea monster of legends? Or if
What?
it had to fight
Stop
from
making.
the world
Why are you making everything fight Megalodon? Well, Megalodon doesn't want to have to fight in a ring.
Would it have stood a chance in such a case? Let's find out. The Kraken. A lot of people have heard about it. It's a legendary mythical sea monster of gigantic size. A cephalopod that sinks ships. It
We've
first
gone from relatively okay to just more and more absurd. Now we're on the Kraken.
Scandinavian myths and has now increasingly appeared in popular culture. If, hypothetically, Megalodon was to fight it, what will be the outcome? The Kraken is clearly larger in size than the prehistoric shark. The cephalopod could
So
easily
when?
encircle Megalodon and,
So when?
thanks to its suction cups and enormous pressure, decide the outcome of the battle in no time at all. The Megalodon's attack tactics would have included a ram with which it would have tried to stun its victim.
We've gone so stupid.
But such tactics against the Kraken would have been completely useless. The cephalopod would again have enclosed the shark in its strong embrace, and the fight would have ended on the spot.
How many more minutes of pain?
The world
12.
famous ocean explorer Jacques-Yves Cousteau
Don't know.
once said that a huge creature of about 300 meters had allegedly floated by his bath escape. The Norwegian explorer Thor Heyerdahl also mentioned in his book The Kon-Tiki Expedition by raft across the South Seas that while inside a submarine off the coast of Peru in deep water one night, he heard a strange and terrifying rumble. Through the porthole, he saw something gigantic and glowing floating past the submarine. And in 1997,
That might be a
something
bit.
interesting happened. A hydrophone
Oh
recorded a
no.
strange sound that
It's an iceberg. Sound like I'm like from like Titanic or something. It's an iceberg. I'm not talking about the Titanic and what it rammed. I'm saying what the sound was. It's an iceberg.
Some experts
It's an
believe
icy
that a sea
bird.
monster, unknown
No.
to science, could make such a sound. However, there's
It's an iceberg.
evidence that this sound was made by a living creature at all. Some
Good.
believe that the sound was made by icebergs
Most.
dragging along the ocean
Most
floor.
people who've heard.
But what if it was a monster of monstrous size?
We would have found it
Judging
then.
by the sound, it must have been a giant creature that would have crushed Megalodon.
Meh.
We can only
Crush.
hope it's not something alive. After all, Megalodon sharks are long since extinct. But we're alive, and we'll be forced to share the planet with such a monster if it exists.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Since we've already touched on the subject of mythical creatures, let's dwell on the most dangerous and frightening of them, and find out if they could exist in reality. Yorogumo. The legend of Yorogumo originated
Oh,
during the
freaking.
Edo period in Japan.
Now it's still a Japanese folklore.
A spooky spider ghost capable of transforming into a beautiful woman. In most legends, Yorogumo seduces men, lures them to his home, an abandoned cabin in the woods, plays a Japanese lute, then wraps them in nets of spiderweb and devours, or leaves them in the web to be devoured by
This-
Yorogumo's offspring. It's believed that when the spider reaches the age of 400 years, he acquires magical powers. There's a similar character in another Asian country. A Philippine legend
Oh,
has it that Manananggal is a beautiful woman by day who at night turns into a vicious, scary, blood-drinking monster. In fact, Manananggal is a kind of Philippine vampire, but it's much scarier and more dangerous than Western vampires. Manananggal is said to be a
We've gone so stupid.
Tap at night, releases webbed wings from
I
its
might-
shoulders like a bat, and flies
So
off in
stupid.
search of victims. leaving the lower half standing on the ground. Manananggal uses his proboscis-like tongue to suck the blood of sleeping humans. Pregnant women and sick people are a favorite prey, and the creature can smell them from miles.
This
You
is.
can kill Manananggal by pouring
I know
salt,
this video.
crushed garlic, or ashes on his separated lower half. Even though the year is 2022, many Filipinos
It's not. It's 2024. I know that the video was made. Imagine it was made in 2023. That December 11th.
believe in this creature, fear it greatly, and keep plenty of salt at home in case this winged monster shows up in the middle of the night. Liko.
Why?
Liko is a terrible character of East Slavic mythology. It's an evil and
Why?
frightening creature.
Why? It's
It's
gone
described
from
by its
dinosaurs.
clean build.
It's gone from Megalodon to dinosaurs to Megalodon again, and now some mythical creatures.
Cyclops, it has one
Where we have to start for 8 more minutes.
and a narrow range.
Cyclops.
It feeds on the flesh and suffering of humans and animals.
Oh.
It usually stays away from large settlements and spends most of its life in the woods, feeding on native animals and birds, which often angers Naleshi, another character of Slavic mythology. But if Liko
Okay, we
comes
haven't got
across
it
a
for too
solitary
much
person
longer.
or a small group of people, it will not miss the chance. Having stuck to one person, it plunges them into despondency and begins to feed on their negative
That's
emotions.
from Harry Potter. Why are you showing Harry Potter? Yeah, why are you showing Harry Potter?
Isn't it?
Yeah, why? Yeah, why are you showing Harry Potter?
It will follow the victim everywhere for the rest
Yeah,
of
you're
their
just
life.
showing Harry Potter. That's not. I don't think Harry Potter's set in Poland or West Slavic. Yeah, Poland or Czechia, is it? Or Slovakia, but screw Slovakia. Who cares about Slovakia?
It may seem that
I'm a bit aggressive.
J.K. Rowling was inspired by Liko.
Oh, okay.
The Dementors. In fact, though, that's not true.
So then why are you showing the Dementors?
Later, she invented Dementors when she was going through a severe depression. It was these memorable characters that became the embodiment of longing and grief. In this episode, there's another character that appeared in Harry Potter movies. Know it well. It's the Basilisk.
Okay.
Apparently, when creating the huge snake from the Chamber of Secrets, Rowling
What's the
was inspired by the Basilisk from myths and legends.
Basilisk is a
Basilisk
bit
is
snake,
described
innit?
in different ways in ancient sources, but usually
No,
it's a
1
giant
minute.
serpent
What?
or a rooster with a snake's tail.
This come up with
This
mystery.
creature can kill
Mystery,
birds with its fiery breath, other animals with its hiss, and humans with its gaze. Legends say that the basilisk is born from a
This is
snake
PBS.
or toad egg, which was hatched by a rooster. By the way, the word basilisk is translated from ancient Greek as little king, so this creature is often called the serpent king. Interestingly, during the Middle Ages,
Wow.
the basilisk was blamed for plague epidemics and mysterious murders. Okay, many of you probably knew about the mythical basilisk, but what about the Vouvre? You ever heard of it? In the meantime, it's another creepy snake of myths and legends. The Vouvre is the king or queen of snakes. In the forehead of this creature is a sparkling stone, a bright red ruby. And its
The
appearance
stupidity of
resembles a
this
fiery
video
serpent.
is immense. I've never once in my career as a YouTuber found a more stupid video.
The Vouvre can only be seen once a year.
Oh, not stupid. Chaotic.
Drink
And let's just say
in
that.
lakes or rivers. And
Or
that's
clickbaity.
when it leaves its jewel on the shore. It's believed that whoever manages to get hold
Because it's gone from stupid because it's gone from birds and Meg to non-avian dinosaurs back to Meg, his friends or enemies, I guess. They did now.
snake will be
Said this 4 times.
fabulously rich and receive a portion of the underground treasures that the Vouvre guards.
I've got 5 minutes
Kelpie.
left.
When we talk about Scottish mysteries and legendary creatures,
Loch Ness.
first of all,
Yeah,
we think
okay.
of the Loch Ness monster. Although it
Nessie,
can be called
Nessie.
legendary,
It's fake.
hardly,
It's definitely.
because it's more likely a cryptid like Bigfoot or Chupacabra. But Kelpie is quite a mythical creature. It's a
What's the
snake
difference between a cryptid and a mythical creature? Aren't they the same thing?
which, like Nessie, lives in the water. It's believed that it can be found in many rivers and lakes. Although
Does that
mythology
include Loch
says that
Ness?
sometimes Kelpie can take human form. Most of the time, it appears as a horse, a very scary horse with 2 long horns on its head, which makes it look like a cross between a horse and a bull. Sometimes Kelpie's eyes light up, or they're full of tears, and its gaze brings chills
4.5
tracks
minutes.
like a magnet. Kelpie's footprints are easy to recognize. Its hooves are placed backwards. To defeat a Kelpie, you must bait it with oats and slip a bridle over its head while casting a spell that will make it docile and helpless. Dabuk. In Jewish mythology, it's believed that if a person was evil while alive, they'll become a dabuk after death. A dabuk is a frightening and evil spirit who cannot part with an earthly existence because of its crimes and seeks a living organism into which it can move. In essence, a dabuk is a demon. This concept is closer to us. The reasons of occurrence of a dabuk is that during their life, a person has committed exactly so many sins that they're not capable to be reborn. But they don't go to hell yet. And so their soul, terrorized by various evil spirits, is forced to seek refuge in the body of a living person. According to mythology, it's easier to give a dabuk settlement to weakened people, but there have been cases when a dabuk occupied the bodies of people known for their holiness. The evilness of a dabuk lies not only in the fact that it takes control of another's body, but also in the fact that the person in whom a dabuk moved suffers a significant physical disorder, being unable to combine two spiritual essences in themselves. Dabuk, Kelpie, Liko, Mananakanal, and the other creepy characters from myths and legends I've told you about are merely fictional characters. They don't exist in reality, nor did they ever exist. But not all mythical beings can be said so. Some of them were quite real. Stay tuned. At the end of the episode,
If it's a mythical beast, by definition, mythical means it didn't exist.
characters of myths and legends that actually existed. Unicorn. Let's start with the big
Unicorns, still around. But what the? Unicorns are normally depicted as horses, but the actual unicorns are rhinos. If you look, the one-horned rhino is it? I forget which one it is. What one of the one-horned rhinos is? Rhinicus, Rhinus, blah, 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 unicorn. His name is Unicorn.
It would seem that the unicorn should be a mythical character.
Nope, because it's a rhino.
Where in nature can
It's a
one
rhino.
find a horse with one horn sticking out of its forehead?
It's not a horse, it's a rhino.
Maybe there's no such horse, but there is definitely a creature with one horn. I'm talking about Elasmotherium.
It's still around. It's the one-horned
This
thing.
is an extinct genus of
Bah.
rhino which inhabited the steppes of Eurasia during the Ice Age.
Ooh,
As you can learn from the cave drawings, the distinctive long horn in the forehead is a feature of this ancient rhino. In addition to this rhino partially resembled a horse, so it's
Are they just
possible
gonna
that it
end
served as
it?
a prototype for the creation of the unicorn and its inclusion of folklore. I wonder if the horn of the Elasmotherium had magical properties, like the unicorn's horn.
Probably not.
Cyclops
No.
are no less famous mythical creatures. I've already mentioned them today, talking about
Definitely not real.
Slavic Liko. These one-eyed creatures appeared in many legends and myths and even became one of the key archetypes of the legends. But were Cyclops really there?
No.
It's unlikely that there were many one-eyed people walking around the planet, but the prototype of Cyclops is quite obvious. According to one version, it's the skeleton of a dwarf elephant.
Oh yeah.
The central nasal opening in the skull of such an elephant could be mistaken for a giant eye socket, which resulted in the myth of the existence of one-eyed creatures. By the way, dwarf elephants lived on the Mediterranean islands, which is why Cyclops are one of the central characters of Greek mythology. Kraken.
It's a minute.
And finally, we'll visit the sea, where according to ancient legend, the Kraken lived.
You've already
It was a
mentioned it.
huge creature with giant tentacles, which attacked the ships, wrapped them, and
Should I
sank
have
to
a
the
thing
depths of
or
the sea.
something else?
But were the ships really sunk by the Kraken? Modern
No, they're
scientists
just-
agree that the Kraken, as it's depicted in myths and legend, did not exist. But its prototype is known. It's very likely that the
It's
ships
just
were
a
attacked
dra-
by giant squids. They can grow to enormous sizes,
Like
reaching 8
Orko.
to 18 meters in length.
Okay,
weighing
and
half a
18
ton.
meters.
Scientists learned about these squids and described them only in the 19th century, so it's not surprising that until then, sailors had no idea what kind of giant clams pounced on their ships. That's why they came up with the Kraken. That's it for today. What creature do you think was the most dangerous in history? Share your thoughts
That's just the most ridiculous thing ever. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for experiencing the pain with me. Have a good rest of it. Oh, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Not Smart Peter. Stupid Peter. Stupid Peter. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like this video. You should share my channel with your friends. This is not the actual channel. EA Reacts to the actual channel. I'm just gonna wait for it to stop live streaming because it's still live streaming. I'm just gonna wait for it to finish. Have a good rest of your day, and bye.